Good morning, hockey fans. This is Stephen Heisler with HeisHockey.com, the Victorious Hockey Company, and the Wild and Crazy Junior Hockey Discussion Group on Facebook. You are watching the Junior Hockey Morning Show. We are on the World Sports Broadcasting Network, WSBN.TV, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. Hopefully this morning you are enjoying your cup of coffee, enjoying the fine wintry weather of December, wherever you are. A little chilly last night here in the city, beautiful, 54 degrees. And you guys are probably going to be throwing rocks at me for saying such a thing. Well, that is what it is. Today is Wednesday, December 6th, 2023. If I were king, we're going to end the charade of the Joker's draft. If I were the king of hockey, and I'm not, one of the first things we would do is dump the North American Hockey League and North American 3 Hockey League entry drafts once and for all. Yes, the charade is the right word. In an era where players have multiple options, why are leagues so gung-ho about pushing prospects to other leagues? Back in the day, when an old man says back in the day, that means like back in the 90s, okay? Anchorage Scott Gomez was not excited about going to the Sioux City Musketeers of the USHL. Our team, a Junior B team in Alaska, we rostered him with the intent of trading him to Omaha, the team that Scotty wanted to go to. Let's just say that USA Hockey Vice President and Junior Council Chair Dave Tyler was less than impressed with my grand scheme. Ultimately, Gomez went to the BCHL Surrey Eagles on his way to the Western Hockey League and National Hockey Leagues. In retrospect, the USHL lost out on a great asset due to their unwillingness to allow players to go to whatever team they want to go to. These are amateur athletes. No one's paying these kids. So why are we allowing this system to continue? Gomez's choice was Omaha and skating with Mike Hastings. His family felt that was the best overall place for their kid. Surrey in the BCHL was a distant second choice, and the rest is history. Junior players are not professional athletes, and all these drafts are doing is limiting options within certain leagues and pushing kids to other leagues as a result of being drafted by a team they don't want to go to. Today, there are more choices than ever for these players. And not everybody wants to go along with the NEHL and NA3HL's draft picks and choices. Why? Well, it would be easier if the league would maintain some sense of standards. But that hasn't been the case in a long time. Actually, the whole concept of tier standards has been basically eliminated from the Junior Hockey Guidebook. It used to be in the annual guide. You can see it every year. Rules would change and things would change, and they update the guidebook. Well, guess what? No more. That's gone now. And the North American Hockey League and NA3 also posted standards on their webpage. Those are gone too. The colleges don't draft players, and student athletes have the option of the transfer portal should the realities not live up to the promises made by the school. In junior hockey, the player's option is to deal with it or simply go elsewhere, and many do. Leagues complain about the number of players going to Canada or going to non-sanctioned leagues, but don't want to talk about maintaining any sense of operational control over the teams. The USHL does. That's for sure. Glenn Heffron and that group make sure those teams are toeing the line. period. The North American Hockey League and A3HL fall far behind the USHL when it comes to maintaining standards. The problem is compounded by 10 when the subject of the NA3HL is raised. It's ludicrous for a player to be drafted by a team he has absolutely no interest in playing for. But we see this every season. Players cringe at the notion of being drafted by some of these bad NA3HL operators because of the horror stories that players have heard that have been passed down year after year. Let's be real. There are operators within the 3HL that shortchange folks more than a carnival worker. It's in these instances that I am happy that the United States Premier Hockey League exists because they offer a suitable alternative more times than not. Frankly, I could not imagine where we would be as a game and as a level of play without the USPHL. The hierarchy at the NEHL needs to take a really good look at the number of drafted players that actually make it onto their NEHL teams. At the same time, they should also look at the number of drafted NA3HL players that never played for that team at all. And both accounts, the league should look and see where those kids end up playing. That's the thing about facts. They tend to tell a really good story. What the drafts really do is justify the league's big money combines. And that's really what it's about, money. So if money is the biggest determining factor, why continue the charade of selling promises to older players? If leagues concentrated the combines and drafts to younger first-year eligible prospects, there would be much more interest. Nobody wants to send their 16-year-old to a combine when they're going to get pounded by a 20-year-old. There's no fun in that. There are way more of those players than there are older players anyway. Putting an end to the draft system would force operators into maintaining their end of the deal while allowing players to make their own choices regarding developmental opportunities. Because in the end, they will anyway. Just because a team drafts you doesn't mean you have to go to that team. Yes, it limits your option within that league. And we've seen a lot of situations over the years where a 3HL team will draft a kid, put him on a defective list because he won't report. And then when that kid pops up later on, he wants to play for a different team in the 3HL. Guess what? Someone's got to pay that first team. Why should they be rewarded for being a bad operator? Why should they be rewarded for the inability to draft a player that actually wants to go there? That's it for today, folks. Hope that you enjoy your morning coffee and have a great day in hockey.